praises to Yahweh,
Hawa, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Racha Kodash.
double honors to the apostles of great millstone that rule well. Salutation to the elect men of Israel. Alright, this is Big Brother Am1 and Kwana here to do a video. Alright, the Chariots is our salvation and the destruction of this place. Alright, so through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we just want to bring out a little small edification. First scripture we in Psalm 68. Psalm 68, 17.
Right, I'll read that. This Psalm chapter 68 verse 17. It says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place.
Yes, so the Most High chariots is 20,000 of thousands. Now, these are the things we're looking forward to bring. This is the thing we're looking forward to see. That is our salvation. Right? As the prophets way back then, a lot of these prophets had sightings of the chariots. Right? I will read this precept here.
I'll talk a lot because
yeah, so the chariots is what we're looking forward to see we salvation out of this place. You know, and the chariots is what we're going to help destroy this former kingdom that we in right now. Alright? Just as the prophets and them back then used to see chariots and all these things. This is 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 11. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, they appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven, just as what we hoping for. The hopefully elect, the 144,000 men, hoping for that beaming up of the chariot. Verse 12. And Elias saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes, and rent them into pieces. So when Elias saw that he was, the chariots of Israel, that is salvation. No. We're going to Psalm 68, 13.
68 and 13?
Yeah.
Right, this Psalm is 68 chapter and the 13th verse. It says, though ye have lion among the pots, yet shall he be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold.
So that just show you how beautiful the chariots and them of the Most High is. You know, the chariot of the Most High and them is of fine gold. You know, let's know I have 1 minute. Okay, go ahead and talk about them. I'll bring up something.
Yeah, so as you brother said, right, we dealing with the chariots of the Lord. Chariots of the Lord is what you people would know as so-called UFOs. Alright? Them same said vehicles, because basically what a chariot means is like is a vehicle. Like a car today would be known as a modern day chariot. Back then they had horses with people and the chariot. Horses pulling the chariot back then with the wheels, and the people was in the back. You understand? Now you had the engine pulling the car. Basically the modern day chariot. It's just like a vehicle. So the Most High have vehicles. Because in order for we to have vehicles, he had to have it first. So he had his vehicles, and then he gave us the technology to make motor cars and planes and buses and trains and whatever it may be. So the chariots of the Most High is what you people know today as the so-called UFOs. That is the chariots that was back then, and they were going to make the return now to deliver the Israelites, the elect. Okay?
Alright, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. So the clouds again goes back to the chariots. And these men that, you know, hoping to be alive is the hopeful elect. As Hebrews 12:1, that race that is set before us, we here down on earth right now, starting from the elder apostle Taha, come all the way down to each and every archim who pushing their truth in sincerity, you know, running this faithful race. You know, making we election, hoping to make we election sure. That we could be beamed up in those chariots, that we will live forever and inherit the glory of the kingdom to come.
That's right. That's right.
That's how we can put it out
that. Isaiah chapter 26 verse Isaiah chapter 26 verse 20, it says, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed." Understand? And that's talking about the chariots. When the Lord say, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers," that's talking about when the destruction come.
That's unfair.
And the beaming up of the elect. That's something. I go through.
Take the back of the.
Yeah.
This is Psalm 57 verse 1. "Be merciful unto me, O Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Be merciful unto me, for my soul trusted in thee. Yea, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge, until these calamities be overpassed." Hey, to back up what the brother now said, Isaiah 26 and 20. Right? Because hey, we know these calamities coming. And earlier on, me and the brother was talking, and we were saying, hey, you know, preparing ourselves for Jacob trials. And that is what going on, beam us up. Psalm 91 and 4.
91 verse 4.
One of my favorite psalms.
Can. Psalm chapter 91 verse 4. It says, "He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler."
Come. So the Most High chariots is our shield and thy blocker.
Truth.
Truth. And as we were saying in Psalm 57, we talk about the shadow of thy wings. The wings again goes back to the chariots. So even David and all were nobody Most High chariots. Like when the enemies come against him, and the Most High used to teleport him different areas. You know, the Revelations chapter 1 verse 7. Okay, we'll have Revelations 10.
Revelation 10.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 7. "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kings of the earth shall wail, yea, the one mourn." Because guess what? Israel gonna come into power. And the Most High says, Jeremiah 51, right? I think it's verse 19 or verse 15. So like, if I say the verse wrong, we say Israel is my battle axe. And who he gonna use to destroy the enemies? The 144,000 elect men. That is who we gonna use. So all they're going on wail. Alright? Because of him. Even so. Amen.
This is Revelation chapter 10 verse 1. "And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire." And that chariot. Alright, so that's talking about the cloud and the rainbows upon his head. That talking, and the face was as the sun. That talking about the lights around the chariot. You understand? That what John was saying, and the feet was pillars of fire. That he talking about the arms of the chariot when it landing on the earth. That what he talking about. You know? And he was seeing the angel inside it. That's why he say an angel. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea and his left foot upon the earth, because it was a big chariot. So one ran on the sea, one ran on the earth. You understand? That is we talking about it.
This is Psalms 104 verse 3. Who laid the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walk upon the wings of the wind.
Who walk on the wings of the wind. And that is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Alright, who maketh the clouds his chariot. So when you see clouds in the scriptures, sometimes it represents a chariot. When the scripture says the Lord coming with clouds, it don't mean that he coming in a cloud. Because when you read Acts the first chapter, get that from Acts chapter 1 verse. Acts chapter 1 verse 6, and then you will get Revelation 19 and 11.
Alright, this is Acts chapter 1 verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, will thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel?
Good.
And he said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father had put in his own power, but ye shall receive power after the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea, and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost parts of the earth.
Good.
And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up.
He was taken up. Taken up. Now we know, according to the knowledge that Esau teach we know that clouds don't take up nothing. Alright? We know that clouds is downpouring. But we're going to say he was taken up. And what receives him?
And a cloud received him.
So a cloud take up a human being is not out of the question. If you read it with understanding, that don't add up no way, no form, no shape, no how. A cloud don't receive nobody. So that had to be talking about something other than a cloud. Hey, give me Matthew 17 verse 1.
Matthew 17. Matthew 17 verse 1. And after 6 days, Yahushua take Peter, James, and John his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light.
Good.
And behold, there appeared unto him Moses and Elias talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Yahushua, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here thee tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. While he yet speak, behold, a bright cloud.
A bright cloud. So cloud shining too? It has shining clouds now? That was a chariot. A so-called UFO, a bright cloud. Okay? Go ahead.
Bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice of the cloud which said.
A voice of the cloud speaks. So why cloud don't speak today, bro?
Yeah.
For you dummies who want to play discouraging the fact that the Bible speaks about so-called UFOs.
Come.
Huh?
Come.
White clouds are speaking today and shining today.
Come.
Go ahead.
This is my beloved son.
So and that right there proves that the son and the father is two different.
That's right. In whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him.
Right, because when he transfigured as Moses and Elijah, Moses represents the law, Elijah represents the prophets.
Come.
But the Lord come and say, hey, Israel had the law and the prophets. But the Lord say, hey, this is my beloved son in whom I am well pleased, because he over the law and the prophets. He higher than that, he above that. Because they had the law and the prophets, but that wasn't getting them perfect. How shall I come to do that?
Come.
So that's why he says, this is the man here right now. Because Moses is the one who brought the laws on the tablets of stone to Israel, and Elijah was the prophet, the chief, was one of the top prophet on the earth. Okay? The scripture says, Yahushua himself commended Elijah. He said, matter of fact, I'm going to get that. I'll just read that real quick. I digress, but just to prove it, you know. Matthew 11 verse 10, it says, For this is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, he hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. Alright, so the point is, John the Baptist was a very great prophet, and John the Baptist is Elijah in the reincarnation. So Elijah represents the prophets, Moses represents the laws, and Yahushua trumped them. He's the greatest one. He's the one to really go to. That's what I was symbolizing there. Okay.
You want to get some revelations?
Yeah, but finish with the Acts though.
Alright.
Yeah. Walk in the Acts.
Starting back from verse 10, right?
Right, because you're talking about a cloud, right? You talk about a bright cloud, now you're talking about our next cloud in Acts. Go ahead.
And verse 10. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, verse 10. And while they looked steadfast toward heaven.
Don't read over verse 9, Baba.
Alright. Acts chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
Out of their sight, so he was gone. He disappeared.
Come.
Just like Elijah disappeared, just like Enoch disappeared.
Come.
Okay? I think it's anything Melchizedek disappeared. Can. Oh, go ahead.
Verse 10. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, two men stood by him in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? The same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
Right, so how he was taken up into heaven? In a cloud, right? As the scripture, we going word for word. So, seeing that he was taken up in a cloud, you should look for him to come back on clouds. But look what it's saying in Revelation. Go in Revelation, yeah, Baba Kosha, 19 and 11.
This is Revelation chapter 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse.
A white horse now? But it's clouds.
God.
See? Good.
And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war.
Yeah, but you're talking about horse, you're talking about clouds. What it really was a so-called UFO as they would know today on the face of the earth.
That's right.
That is what it was that you went up in. No cloud, and no horse, no literal horse. Horse just represents power and white represents purity. That is all. You know?
Yeah, something to back you up in the finish.
Yeah, that is it.
Alright. This is Isaiah 66 verse 15. Good Jeremiah. If you have something, Jeremiah 4:13. For behold, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury.
So now he coming with chariots now, like a whirlwind. So it's a horse, it's a clouds, now it's a chariots.
And whirlwind.
Yeah, and whirlwind. So what really it is?
To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. You could go through that.
Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 13, it says, Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind, his horses are swifter than an eagle. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled.
So you go back saying clouds and all too?
You
understand? You go back saying clouds. This is Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 4. Go down in 7, 9. Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud. Again, say whirlwind, great cloud. Just as in the movie Independence Day, when the big chariot, that go back to Jeremiah 1 where he talk about out of the north a great evil shall break forth. Right? And who in the north? Babylon, America. Right? So that was the big chariot going on hover over there in that wicked place. Babylon the Great. Alright? Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the cloud of amber, and out of the midst of the fire. So yeah, the Most High chariot, the lights on them, as your brother was explaining earlier on in Revelation 10, it's so bright. It's so bright. Hey, the Most High chariot so beautiful. You understand? The Most High chariots so beautiful that hey, guess what? When these chariots come back, alright, people will be amazed. That's the reason why just recently it had sightings of the chariots. You know, with other fact, it has sightings of the chariots all around the world. That people amazed and it was like, hey, where's this boy? Where's this? But guess what? The visitation of the Most High is near. This is the end. So the Most High is telling he angels to watch over who he elect men. Alright? And these angels were in these chariots, watching over the elect men of Israel. That's the reason why these heathens, right? These heathens are amazed. When they see this, they want to know, where is this? Where is this strange thing? As Big Brother Mohan was saying, you know, Esau had these lights on the airplane to identify his aircrafts.
You
know? When you ready,
yeah, we say Daniel 7:9.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. It says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. Verse 10, Selah. His throne was like, verse 9 still, Selah. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened.
Come. So Yahweh is that Ancient of Days who is coming back. But Yahweh is the Father, but 10,000 of thousands ministered unto him, who is the elect, right? Alongside the elect, the angels. right? Which the Most High had there from the beginning. You know. So he gonna send his son this time to destroy this place with the chariots and to rescue the elect men out of this wicked kingdom that we in at this present moment. Which we weeping and mourning and hoping that 2019 could be the last of this wicked kingdom or the downfall of this kingdom, seeing that the RFID chip is being pushed so heavily. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for that.
That's right.
I one precept after this precept for anything. Right? This is Zechariah chapter 5 verse 1. Then I turned and lift up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, and length thereof is of 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 20 cubits. So I can't say how much is 20 cubits are. But 20 cubits that would be very big. You know. So that was Zechariah was seeing, and where you see a roll, a flying roll. So from a cloud to a whirlwind, right, to a flying roll. So this is what the prophets, right, back then described the chariots as. Where you people today call UFOs and aliens and all these BS. But that is the, as the brother was saying earlier on, that is the transport of the Most High. Alright? Yeah.
Malachi chapter 4 verse 1 says, For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise, with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. That means you're going to be protected. And healing in his wings. What is his wings? His chariots. Alright? Because that is, that going to deliver us from the day that going to burn as an oven. Alright? That going to deliver us from the day that going to burn as an oven. And it says we shall grow up as calves of the stall. And calves of the stall, that means a stall, a calf were in a stall. Meaning it protected, it taken care of, it well fed. Alright? It in outside there in the wilderness. It in a stall, meaning it have a owner, it have a master. And we going to be with the master in that day. Okay? And how that going to take place that when the Lord come back to deliver us. I have an next one here. This book of Revelation chapter 11 verse 13. It says, On the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men, were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. Just now. Now, verse 12. And they heard a great voice unto them from heaven, saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. See? So all of this, the chariots coming back to do damage, and they come back to deliver. Alright? Come back to do damage, and they come back to deliver. I have our next one. They give me Habakkuk 3 verse 1.
Habakkuk 3?
Yeah, verse 1.
So it's Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 1. A prayer of Habakkuk the prophet upon Shigionot. O Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, revive thy work in the midst of the years.
Right, and that's what's going on right now. Alright? The work of the Lord revived in the midst of the years. You are there preaching in? Go ahead.
make known in wrath, remember mercy.
In wrath, remember mercy. Well,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran. Salah.
That means stop and pause and meditate. Selah. Well,
verse Salah, verse 3. Salah. Right. His glory covered the heavens.
Like the chariots. His glory is the chariots.
God.
It covered the heavens. Because the scripture says he covered with clouds. So it covered the whole heaven, the whole skies.
God.
His glory covered the heavens. Yahushua say, we shall see the Son of Man riding upon the glory of his Father when he come back.
God.
Like the chariots.
God.
Go ahead.
His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise.
Go ahead.
And his brightness was as the light, and he had horns coming out of his hand.
And he had horns coming out of his hand. What are you talking about?
Beams of the chariots.
Bright beams. Hey, you going to look up, you mean with horns? Go and tell you that.
God.
Okay. He had horns, come from the Hebrew word quaran, right? Quaran, horn of strength, flask, horn of rays of light, hill. That is what it means. He had rays of light, laser beams.
God.
Coming out of his hand. His hand represent the wherever he shooting the laser beams out of.
God.
See? So he coming back to the destruction, and it also coming back to deliver, because the scripture say, come up hither. They ascended up to heaven in a cloud. That was a chariot.
God.
So it have both parts of the chariot, to destroy and to deliver us.
God.
Alright?
God.
That is it. Go ahead.
And his brightness was as the light, and he had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power.
Go ahead.
Before him went the pestilence, and burnings of coals went forth at his feet.
Right, so you come to burn up you undesirables.
God.
Burn all you up as the chaff. Okay? Are you going to hold up there?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that is it.
Yeah.
No more?
No.
Right. That is it.
God. You want to give all praises?
To Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kodash.
Double honors to the apostles of great millstone that rule well. Salutation to the elect men of Israel that preach and push this truth in sincerity. Alright, this is Big Brother Amwan and Kwana. Alright, I'm just going to say Shalom.
Shalom, and hey, hopefully you've been edified. Shalom.